Alright everyone, today is the day to find out if Khameleon is terrific or terrible. I've been very critical of this character ever since it got revealed that she changes on a timer. So unlike Trimmer, who you have complete control over, Khameleon just kinda does her own thing. Because even though there are two different ways to control when she changes, she will also continue to change on a timer irregardless of what you want. You might want her to stay Molina, but she's going to transform into Jade, and then Katana, but thankfully it is in a set order. And then on top of that, to make Khameleon a bit easier to manage, she also does have one universal move, and you can force her to change if you want to. But now comes the craziest part. Check out the recharge time. Yeah, that's pretty quick. Now look at this recharge time. Wow, look at the speed of that. Khameleon recovers really quickly, especially on certain attacks. Believe it or not, you can do 4 different cameo summons in the same combo if you time things correctly. How crazy is that? 4 cameo abilities in one combo is crazy. It definitely seems like somebody at NetherRealm understood changing on a timer is going to be a deal breaker for some people. So to compensate, they made Khameleon better in almost every other area they possibly could. She recovers extremely quickly, and many of these cameo attacks are downright godlike, and you'll see what I'm talking about right now. Let's begin the full breakdown of Khameleon to see if she's terrific or terrible. First up, we have Jade, because that's the default in practice mode, but be warned, you can't control her first form in an actual match. She may start the game as Molina or Jade or Katana. It's completely outside of your control, but for some reason in training mode, she starts out as Jade, so we're gonna begin there, starting off with the neutral cameo attack. Yeah, look at this, the glaive. This attack is very similar to Serena's combo extender because it hits twice and you as the main character can recover in time to keep the combo going. And it's fast enough to be done after pretty much anything you would want, like a low mix-up, a regular hit confirm, you get the idea, it's really good. But to make things even better, check this out. The glaive hits mid instead of high, which means the opponent can't just do this after blocking the first attack. Instead, they have to block when the glaive comes back because it can't be ducked under. So already that's pretty crazy because you have the benefit of Serena's combo extender but without any of the weaknesses. The only way for the opponent to beat this thing is to hit Jade before she throws the glaive. If your opponent reacts too slowly, they just have to keep blocking because that glaive is coming back and they can't go under it. That's really good, but this move has some creativity too. If you hold down or up when Jade throws the glaive, you can actually change the trajectory and it becomes a bit of an anti-air. Look at how it's going upward to the sky. But keep in mind, every form has 2 cameo attacks. If we hold forward and press R1, we get the glow. And a lot of you watching probably already know what this is, but in case you don't, maybe you're new to Mortal Kombat, this glow makes your character completely immune to projectiles. And it's an ambush, so you can be in the middle of attacking and still get this buff, right? You're just now immune to projectiles. Really cool, very similar to Sub-Zero's cameo. Now that being said, projectiles are weird in Mortal Kombat games. Sometimes stuff like this does not count as a projectile, or something like this, right? Not everything is treated as a projectile, even if it looks like one. So go into practice mode and do some testing. But next up, it's time to talk about Katana. First up, we have the neutral cameo, which is the fan toss. Yeah, that starts combos, which means your mix-up character can do things like this, overhead into launcher, or even a low attack into a launcher. How crazy cool is that? But here comes the craziest part. You're not ready for this. On block up close, it is completely safe at -6. Or in other words, this overhead is completely safe on block. This low is completely safe on block. If it hits the opponent, I get a full combo, but if they guess correctly and block, I'm still safe, they can't combo me. How crazy is that? As you can see, I was not joking when I said some of her cameo attacks are godlike. Now from further away, you will not get the launcher. Instead, you just get a regular projectile, which is still pretty good though. Knocks the opponent down, does decent damage, and kind of staggers them too. But if you thought that cameo attack was crazy, get ready for the fan lift, because this move is what has the internet going wild, and that's because it can cancel you out of any attack you're doing to give new combo routes and new pressure opportunities. So for example, check out this ice ball. I'm gonna hold up on the controller, and as you can see, it takes Sub-Zero a while to recover. I can't move right away after throwing this thing, but with the help of Katana, I absolutely can. Check this out. The instant I throw the ice ball, I'm already in the air, and I can do a jump in on the way down to start a combo. How crazy is that? Pretty much every character in the game that has a projectile can do this, and it makes some of them ridiculously good, like Shang Tsung, Quan Chi, you get the idea. Another great example is Scorpion, because now his Hellfire leads to full combos even if you're an entire screen away. It's godlike. This fan lift is insane, because once again, it interrupts whatever you're doing, which if timed correctly can lead to new combo routes, new pressure opportunities, all that incredible stuff. It has the internet going wild. And keep in mind, you control how far you want your character to jump. There's a regular fan lift, a close fan lift, and a far fan lift. So a jump for every single situation. That is awesome. But now finally, it's time to talk about Molina. Last but certainly not least. First up is the neutral cameo attack. Let's see. It's the ball roll. Launches the opponent for a full combo, and on top of that, it's an overhead, and a really fast overhead too. In fact, I think it's unreactable. It is to my eyes, but let's check the exact frame data on this thing. 18 frames, so technically reactable, but let's be real. Online, nobody's blocking that thing on reaction. It's gonna be really tough to deal with. And that's a good thing, because this attack is unsafe on block, so be careful when using it. Even so, check out these mix-up possibilities. Normally, that second hits a low, now it's an overhead instead, and brings the opponent to you for a full combo. What more could you ask for? Another great example is this string right here. Ends in a low, but guess what? Now it ends in an overhead, almost unreactable, and you get a full combo on hit. That's incredible. If your character has a bunch of low mix-ups, now they have a bunch of overheads to trick the opponent constantly, which is always fantastic. One more example right here, ends in a low, now it's an overhead, and you get a full combo. You get the idea. Mix-ups for days with Molina. But do be careful, it's very unsafe on block at -16. Anyone can punish this thing if they block correctly. And now it's time to talk about the size. This attack is great for comboing airborne opponents, very similar to Sonya Blade. Check this out. Bop bop. She keeps the opponent in the air off anything that would launch. One more example might be right here. Oh, she changed on me. Let's try one more time. I really wish I could control which form she started in for training mode, but I don't think I can. Boom, look at that, a combo extender. You get the idea. If the opponent's airborne, you get a combo now. It's really good, just like Sonya Blades. Now with that said, I do believe the opponent has to be in the air, otherwise it misses completely. Once again, just like Sonya. Yeah, check that out. The opponent has to be jumping, or you have to launch them yourself, right? You get the idea. And that's it for Jade, Katana, and Molina, but there's still more to talk about, like the universal cameo. If you press back in R1, you get her universal ability. She can do this no matter which form she's in, and after doing it, she will change to the next form, which is very handy because it's also an ambush attack, so no matter what you're doing, you can have Chameleon change forms to get ready for your next combo. Really good stuff. But okay, what does this move do? Essentially, it reduces the opponent's attack by half, but only for one attack. So that uppercut does 140. If you have the glass on your body, it's only going to do 70, but only for the one hit. You get the idea. This can be a great way to save you from dying from a single attack. Some characters have full screen moves that do a ton of damage, or they have up close moves that do a ton of damage, like Reiko's overhead or Havoc's arm sling. You get the idea. This move can cut the damage by half, which is really good. But then on top of that, if you hold the cameo button during any of Chameleon's moves, she will actually change to the next form that way too. And that doesn't cost you any extra cameo bar. It's the exact same. Instead, you just control when she changes, which is fantastic, because maybe you don't want her to be Jade anymore. There you go, she's Katana. Maybe you don't want Katana anymore. There you go, she's Molina. Just keep holding down the cameo button. Really good stuff. But believe it or not, we're still not done, because her throws are also different in every form. The Jade throw puts you at full screen and does 130. Well, next up, let's check out the Katana throw. What's this gonna be like? The damage might be different. Yeah, only 110, but you're still at full screen, so a bit of a damage nerf, but the opponent's still far away. But now let's see the Molina throw. Let's go. Ooh, I love the animation. It staggers? No way. It does only 90, but the opponent appears to be staggered. That can't be true. Maybe you don't get a combo, but the opponent just can't move, like they're staggered, but they can still block. That might be the situation, and that would be okay if so, but I was really hyped for a second. I thought maybe they would give us a full combo off a throw, which sounds crazy, but keep in mind Cyrax can do that. Yeah, I think they're just forced to block, which is still good. It's a great way to start your offense, but the throw damage is really low. Alright, and I do believe that's it for Khameleon. As you can see, she's a very complicated cameo character, but there's so many cool things about her that have me excited. Even though she changes forms on a timer, which could be very finicky and unwieldy at first, you can also control when she changes forms, and every cameo attack is really, really good. But then for the cherry on top, we have the recovery. As mentioned mentioned earlier, you can do 4 different cameo attacks in the same combo because she recovers so quickly after each attack. And that one factor might be why Chameleon is actually a top tier cameo character. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed today's video, please leave a like down below. It really does help my channel out a ton, and then keep that combo going by subscribing and ringing that bell so you never miss any future videos. Make sure to come back next time, and as always, stay underdogs.